Hey guys, what is going on today? Johan here with Ifixyourcell.com. Today we are going to be performing a repair on just the glass of a Samsung Galaxy S3. It's one of the older models. It is a Sprint model, but the screen is completely functional. Now this is the most important thing in this kind of repair. You have to make sure that the screen is completely functional. Otherwise, if there is any damage with the screen or any discoloration or something like that, I wouldn't recommend you guys do it. But you guys just have to be really careful. This repair can be performed if you do have the right tools. So, as you can see here, we have the glass that just is replaced by this one. We also have the most important tool, which would be a sesame tool. We have a screwdriver, as well as a heat gun. Now the heat gun and the sesame tool are very important in this repair, because you're going to need to pry off the glass without breaking the LCD, which is very difficult. Not only that, if you do break the LCD, you are going to be paying quite a bit to get a replacement. So let's just get started on this repair. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're actually going to have to remove the battery and then take the phone apart. I suggest you do this because you don't want any liquid going into the screen. And by the way, the glue we use for this is called liquid optic glue, LOCA for short, which is right here. I like to use the octopus glue. It's the preferred for this kind of repair. So just put that off to the side here. So what you want to do is you just want to take off all the screws. And one more thing before I forget, you're also going to need a black light or a UV light to dry the glue. Now, you can leave it without the glue, but I wouldn't suggest you do this because you can actually break the glass a lot faster. So if I was going to perform the repair, if it was my phone, I'd rather have the LOCA glue in it, because it's just going to be a lot stronger, it's going to be a lot more durable, and it's also going to hold up to way more. So just take out all the screws that are on the back. Should be 10 of them. They're all the same size, so you don't really have to keep them all in track. Alright, so how we take apart this phone? Relatively simple. What you want to do is you want to just lift from the inside of the battery. You just want to lift up, and it should just pry this piece of plastic off. This you can set off to the side. Now you want to remove the connectors. This is the LCD connector, so you just want to take that one off. Camera. This is for the two lenses up front. This is for the main speaker. And then how you want to take this main speaker off is you actually want to put a screwdriver or something in here, and it should just pop out just like that. You have to put a little bit of force into it, but it should just pop out. And I'd suggest you just use the speaker as a little magnet here and just set all the screws off to the side. Now, this board 9 out of 10 times will have a screw right here, so you just want to take that off before you actually take the board out. And you also want to take this little connector out here. This is for the antenna. Alright, so once that's all out, you can pretty much remove the board. Be really careful with it, because this is where all your data is stored, and you don't want to break it or damage it with any water or anything like that. Alright, so now we're here. So now what we want to do is we just want to tuck in all the connectors, make sure that nothing's in the way, and you just want to flip the screen over. And then you're just going to heat up the screen at about 200 degrees until you can't touch it with your fingers. Once you can't touch it with your fingers, then you know it's hot enough. You don't want to go any hotter because you can actually burn the LCD. By burning it, I mean you would actually turn it gold and then it wouldn't work anymore. So, alright, so here's the heat gun. So just start at the top and work your way down. I have my temperature set to about 200 degrees, so you guys know. Alright, so I just heated up the top part. So now what you want to do is you want to take your sesame tool and you just want to tuck it in here and start gently going down. This part is glued on with double-sided adhesive, so you can just scrape it away little by little. And I suggest just going all the way across just to get most of it out, so you don't have to worry about it as much. And it would actually make the whole process a lot simpler. Alright, so once that glues out, if the screen got cold, then just reheat it and just keep working your way around. I'm sorry if the camera is moving a little, guys, because my heat gun doesn't fit very well into tight spaces. Alright, so once it's hot, you should be able to start just gently prying the screen off. Alright, and then keep heating it up. I'd suggest you guys just work your way down on one side first, so you guys make it a lot easier for yourselves. If the adhesive for some reason doesn't want to come off, then I'd suggest you not try this at home. You can ship it into us if you would like to. You just go to our website, Ifixyourcell.com, and within about a week you should have your phone back. The repair is about $80, so just so you guys know, it's not as expensive as other places. So as you can see there, I'm working my way down. All that white stuff that you see on the screen, it's the actual glue. It's just bunching up in places. Alright, so once you make it to the bottom, you want to switch over to the other side. And you just repeat the process until you have the glass completely off the screen, off the LCD. Alright. Like that, very gently, very slowly. These sesame tools are about $7 on eBay, but they are very, very, very good when it comes to doing galaxies. And actually for a lot of different little things, they're very, very good. Alright, so once you make it to the bottom, you just want to heat up the center. of the screen. And this screw right in the middle that you see, the screw strip right here, should just start coming off just like that. And you'll be able to take your sesame tool and just run it all the way down the screen. Alright. Just be very careful here at the top, right underneath the speaker, because there is more local glue and double-sided adhesive. So you just want to heat it up and then pry up, just like that. And then down here at the bottom, you have to be really careful with the buttons, because if you do rip these, then you're gonna have to just get a whole entire frame, and they are quite expensive because they do come with the LCDs already. So just be really careful with that, guys. We do also perform this repair. If you guys do break the buttons, we do also perform the repair, but you'd have to get it shipped into us. Just heat up where the buttons are. Not too much. But also, it's just enough to melt the glue from underneath the buttons. And you'll just see them right in a minute when they come right off. Like that. So here are the buttons. They should sit just like so, right on the screen. Alright, so the next step to this repair would be to actually clean the LCD. You don't need the sesame tool for this or the heat gun, so I just suggest you turn them off. Alright, so pretty much just scrape off the glue just like that with your fingers if you can. If not, then hit it with some alcohol, and it should just come off after a little help. Alright guys, so we're back. The screen is now cleaned, and I cleaned it with just a rag and some alcohol. And just as you can see, there's going to be a lot of glue residue left on this double-sided adhesive, but really you guys don't have to worry about that, just as long as it's out of the way of the camera and of these three sections right here. And you want to make sure that this glass is actually clean. Just the glass is in the screen is very clean. There's no dust in it. As long as there's no dust in it and both light up buttons work, you can actually reapply the glue. Now what I suggest you guys is you guys actually test it to make sure that everything on the screen is actually working. So if you guys want to go ahead and pause the video and make sure that everything's working, then please do. But right now we're going to continue to put on the screen. So the next thing you want to do is you actually want to take out your glue, if you ordered it, and you want to just open it up. Now what you actually want to do is you want to start from top to bottom, just a straight line, just right down the middle, top to bottom. And if you do get some bubbles, you can pick them out with a screwdriver or something like that. Alright, that should be enough. Just go ahead and put the cap back on it. So now, the next thing is right here. There's two little bubbles. Just with your screwdriver, just quite literally scrape the glue right off that section and just wipe it off on something else and try to get all the bubbles out. You want as many of the bubbles out as you possibly can get, because these two bubbles will show up once you spread the glue. So you don't want that. You want to take them all out. You want to try to get these little dust particles out as well before you actually lay the glass. So here's the glass that you can get from us. You can get it in a couple of different colors. The customer chose black. So what you want to do is you actually, there's a front and there's a back. You can tell it's just that the Samsung logo right there is just blackened out. So this means that this is the back. So what you want to do is there are two different plastics on this. So you want to just remove the back one for now. Just like that. And what you want to do is you actually want to start from the top of the screen and work your way down. But in this case, I'd recommend if your buttons are popping out like this and they do not want to sit properly, I'd suggest you just start from the bottom and work your way up. But you just want to make sure that all the buttons are where they belong. Alright, so just make sure that that home button is aligned perfectly before you actually start putting on the glass, which, as you can see here, is sometimes a little pain. Alright, so now that you got that home button squared away, what you want to do is you want to just lower it enough so that it touches the glue, and then you just want to run your finger all the way up until the glass seats properly. So you just want to start lowering it from the top and working your finger all the way up. Try to work it up as high as you can before you actually drop the screen, because this just prevents bubbles from forming. Alright, as you can see, you can just spread it out with your fingers. And what I like to use to just hold the glue in place are these little clamps that you can get at the 99-cent store. And what you do is you actually just put them on each corner, and they should just start pulling in the glue to that corner. But if it doesn't, just start helping it on its way up. And in the corners that have already glue, just put one right on there. If you get a little overflow on the edges, don't worry about it. It's fine. You can just wipe it off afterwards with some alcohol. Just as long as there's no dust in it, there's no bubbles or anything like that, you should be fine. And just be very patient and careful with this plastic so it doesn't get squished in between the glass and the screen, because then it becomes a pain, like you saw there. Alright, so this corner right here, okay, this corner doesn't want to sit properly. Alright, so next time you see this, guys, the glass will actually be glued on to the screen, because I am going to put it on the black light right now so that it dries up. So once you see it again, you will see it completely you will see it glued on, and then pretty much afterward all you have to do is just retrace your steps. Now what you can do, if you can't get yourself a hold of a black light or an UV light, you can actually leave this on the sun for about 2 hours, and just let it sit there in the sun. I wouldn't recommend that though, because of the fact that you can actually get bubbles in the screen for not drying quickly enough. So I just recommend you guys get a black light. Alright guys, we're back. Here's the finished product after it's set and drying. Alright, so now the last step to do is just to put the phone back together. Just rebuild it. Before you do, you just want to make sure that there's no liquid in here from the optic glue. You want to make sure that there's no liquid in here. You want to make sure that all the connectors are in their proper places, that nothing's ripped. Alright, and once you do that, all you want to do is just take your motherboard and pretty much just place it back exactly as it came out. And don't forget to put this connector back on, because otherwise you will not have any signal on your phone. Make sure it sits down properly, and once it does, all you want to do is just pretty much connect everything back up. And also don't forget to put the screw on. So what you want to do first is you want to just put the speaker back on. It should just snap right into place. There we go. And you just want to put the plastic cover back on. And then just put back your screws. The last step is to put the battery in, the back cover in, and just power on the device. Make sure that everything on the device works. And you also want to make sure that the front camera works. Across the board, all of the S3s will be exactly the same, so don't worry. As long as the touch works, everything works on the screen, it looks like the buttons work. And if your button is a little darker on one side than on the other, don't worry, it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna be a little uncomfortable, but that's about it. Home button works perfectly fine. Okay. Alright guys, that's pretty much the repair for an S3. So just leave down the comments below if you guys have any questions. Alright. And thanks for watching. And just subscribe, and remember, if you need any parts for any kind of cell phone, especially iPhones and Galaxies, just give us a call or just go on our website. Alright. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.